Inflewence here, and today we got Cesium, Perfect Fusion PF-01, which is only Fusion. It's FansToys Slag, right? Yeah, I know that's a bad word in other countries. But this is Cesium. So, Triceratops, of course, the Dinobot, and I like it. It's great. There's a couple things. His legs are a little wobbly. It's funny. We'll get into it in articulation and everything. But his legs are a little, they feel loose when you're fooling with it, but they hold pretty well in different poses. So it doesn't matter. It's just the feeling of it. It doesn't feel, I don't know, I guess premium. Also the gray. I don't remember the gray being like this, but I guess so. This is FansToys, basically. They had a little update of their first, because Scoria was their first version of this. And as they like to do, if they mess up something, usually they try to redo it. So this was their, Scoria was their first Dinobot they put out. The other Dinobots had a change, I guess, in between Scoria and the other ones. So they didn't look alike. And they put this out to be more, it's bigger and it's more consistent with the other Dinobots. Now we'll compare this to one of their Dinobots, because my Dinobots are Gigas. So this is a placeholder for me, since I've been waiting for the Giga reissue forever. I don't know when I ever get it. Knowing my luck, it'll come next week. But let's get it going.
Transformers reviews, tech and the news, whatever else I use as a muse. Hit subscribe, I appreciate the views. Influences interest on YouTube.
Here we are off of the 360. Like, subscribe, share, hit the bell so you know when I post. Let's go through our accessories. You have the gun and you have the sword. He holds them really well.
Subscribe.
You see, they're not going anywhere. I think he holds the sword better in this hand than this hand for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's just the way I have it. I do like how the little trigger guard's there, and you can stick the finger in and all that good stuff. But let's get to it. No batteries, because I don't have, well, actually I may have the batteries for this, but I'm not sure. So you have a gun. It has screw holes on one side. I wish they included some covers for that, because it doesn't look great. I do like the way the gun looks. It's not a bad gun. Has a smoke front, and I don't think it it does light up. So this takes batteries too, lights up. I wasn't sure. I know the other ones did. Sword on par with their other swords. If you have the other Dinobots, has a button here. It lights up as well. So I mixed and matched some of this guy. I will show all his accessories, but I'll let you know right now, I mixed and matched on purely aesthetics, purely what I think looks good for me. It has nothing to do with how it was in the cartoon or the toy or whatever. It just doesn't. I don't really care about that much. So this is what it is. So I did replace, you get these horns, the red ones. You get the silver ones come on them. There's a screw that you have to unscrew. It's in here. So what I did was move this sideways and unscrew the two screws that are in there. They're directly in there. You just, all the way at the bottom, unscrew to take this off. When I first opened it, I was trying to take it off, and I said, let me stop before I break it. Unboxing people saw that. One of the unsightly things, let me raise it up a little bit so you can see his face. Face is nice. Face is the black and red face with the red eyes that I changed. One of the unsightly things, as I was saying, is the inside of this is not painted. And for it to be exposed, I don't know if you can see, it's like the white plastic. It's right up in there, and it has some blemishes and stuff because it's not painted. And I don't know if that was, I would assume that's an oversight. So their sticker right here that says QC is not right. But you get a second head. This is the second head that you get. It's exactly the same as this head. This head, silver with blue eyes and the red. I'm not sure. I may put this back on. And how you do this is unscrew that and take the head apart. And it's on a little bar thing and a back plate. Now, the other part is you can change the dino eyes from red or from blue to red. So you get that as well. But it's easier to get the head off if you pull this off. And then you have this exposed screw. So you can just unscrew it, pull it off like this, then stick the other head together, screw it together. This doesn't, it hasn't been coming off or anything, but it doesn't have any screws or nothing. It's just on these two holes. And you just stick that on there, push it down, and it's good. You can change that. That's how you change this to red. You just stick the red piece instead of the blue piece. Now, it also comes with black thighs and kneecaps. Now, I only got one kneecap. I believe that's an oversight too. I don't know what's going on in their factory. I'm sure I could reach out to my contact at FansToys and get another. I said my contact, like I got inside contact. It's the same contact I think everybody reaches out to that need help. They usually send me stuff. If I ask for it, they'll send it. You get a book. Book time. Book was fine. I only used it. This is easy. I transformed it myself without looking at the directions. I did look at the book just to see what the thighs and all that other stuff, and that these had screws. I wasn't sure. And you get a card. Same card, tech specs, all that good stuff. And you get a box that has some stuff on it. Stuff meaning product shots. Let's do some comparisons. Put him in the middle. And I'm going to compare a Giga dinosaur, a Giga Dinobot, and FansToys Dinobot. So here you are. Snarl and Sludge compared. Like I said, Giga is just the ultimate Dinobot to me. The Giga Dinobots. And they're going to be my Dinobots. Snarl. I never got Snarl just because I had FansToys and this was a gift for me one Christmas. Usually I don't sell gifts ever, so I just kept it. But I probably will get Snarl eventually in Giga. I think it's readily available. I think this is the Triceratops Slag is the only one that's not available for Giga, or not readily available. To be honest, I'm okay. Like these, I think this fits in better with Giga than this fits in with Giga. I don't know if it's the chrome, the shiny chrome, because Giga is chromed out. I got the chromed out versions, and I'm not sure. This just kind of looks out of place, and it's smaller. But his legs are skinnier. These legs are a little bit more chunky, and I don't have the first version Scoria to compare with him, but in pictures, for my money, I would get Cesium. If you don't have any, definitely get Cesium. Do you have to upgrade? It is an upgrade to me. Looking at pictures, I don't know about functionality. It's probably similar to transformation. I do know that there's some, looking at pictures, there's some more detailing on here, maybe, and maybe some other detailing somewhere else that looks better on Scoria. But other than that, like the thighs, the height, the width, the presence is better on, at least looking at it in pictures. I don't know in person. Tail does come out of where it pegs on. It comes off a lot. But once you get it where you need it, it's pretty fine. Let's go over articulation. So his head is on this plate. This plate is what I'm talking about when I'm saying that it's not great, because you're supposed to move the plate around doing transformation, which we'll do, but it hits this. It's a whole bunch of stuff, but you can see you can get it around like that, and the head moves a tad bit. So you can get it 360 as well. It's just hard to do. And I think it's these things right here. They're like raised. It should have been down a little bit, but you can see that you can get the head to move without moving this thing. So you can look side to side if you want. The dyno head moves as well. It's not really supposed to move in robot mode. There we go with the legs. That's what I mean. Like, these are not great, but they hold. As long as you're not pushing pressure. Oh, the hell did I just do? As long as you're not pushing pressure like down. So let me hold it, because this is really should be down, and there's a tab that tabs in, because this is for dyno mode, moving all of this really. But it's okay. It can move doing that as well. Wings are somewhat in the way of his arms. So to get him out, he has a up motion. This joint moves too. So if you, let me see, if you were want, you could move the arm like this if you wanted a butterfly, and then move this down here, and it would create a little butterfly. But like I said, these wings, you got to be very careful. So you could create a little butterfly if you move everything around in a opposite direction. Well, like this. So you get the butterfly. To be honest, I'm not sure. I think it's supposed to be like this because it's supposed to be used the up. But again, like I said, this thing moves down because in dyno mode, the arms are farther down. So you got that. You cannot get the 360 because of the wings. You move them in if you want. Then it looks like he's wearing a tux with a color bun. Swivel at the top of the bicep. Elbow gets you 90. Looks like a little more just because of the way it's shaped. Fingers all articulated. Thumb is on a ball joint and a knuckle, so you get all the articulation that you need. They don't really spread apart, but that's fine. And you can move them around like this. And do they go in and out? No, in and out. Waist, you got the 360. The tight joint. Man. Oh, it doesn't do 360. At least I don't think. Oh no, it does. It must have got stuck on something. So you can get the 360. And you get the ab crunch. That goes about like that. It does hit right here. But that's cool. You got these skirts. Can get up. No skirts nowhere else. So you get this much hurdle, which is no hurdle. He's not getting over them things. It is on a ratchet. Out is on friction. This is what I was talking about. Even though they feel kind of weird and loose, it still holds. You can see, well, it just failed because I was moving all around, but it holds for the most part. These legs are super heavy. But like I was saying, if you can see that give, like that bothers me and makes me think, I don't know. Like you don't want, it'll probably be fine standing, but you don't want to just have the legs up, I guess holding it up, which you wouldn't. Knee, you have a swivel here. You have a swivel here at the knee, so you can get a bigger swivel if you need it. All the stuff inside the leg, you get 90 degrees on the knee. And toe right here, you get a little rocker, little bit of rocker. You get a little bit of down, little bit of toe tilt up, and that's pretty much it. Move these down. I don't even know. Yeah, you do have to move them up a little bit. Yeah, that's it for articulation. So let's just go through transformation, which is super easy. There are a few tricky parts that you have to realize, but I move this out, I move this back, out and back. It ends like this. This part is on a mushroom, a small plastic mushroom peg that, be very careful. It looks like it could be disastrous. I know that was dramatic, but maybe not disastrous. So you move, this does go up a little bit. Not this whole thing. I mean, just this part. So maybe that's, yeah, it does create it. It does help it move around better. You move that 360, fills in this right here, and it blocks the head. Then you move this up, just like every other Dinobot ever. Now you want to move these arms. I sometimes forget, but move these arms down. There's a peg back here that you can hold and kind of move down all the way. So move it down like that, so this peg is in the front. That's how I believe it goes. It is tight, and it's super tight probably the first time you do it. So you move that down, fold these fingers up, move the thumb down, fold these fingers up. Just enough. Move this out just like every other bot in existence almost. Put that in. Do the same thing over here. His thumb's already folded in, and move this down, fold this in. Move this up. Now you can get this folded up a little bit so it can get out of the way. You can worry about it at the end because I'm sure you'll hit it. Then what you want to do, unfold this right here. I like to do this now. Again, something I forget. So fold that down, leave these up so you can get these wings in like that. In the end, they're gonna come together and you can see what's going on. Now these legs, super easy. You move these out. They're on a bunch of double hinges. I move this back first at the kneecap. So the green part goes backwards. This part, after you move it out, then there's this half that you move out like that. And then you can get this the way it goes. You can see almost exactly how you should have it done. Like it folds like that and then folds out. So in the end, when you fold this back up, this is how it's going to be. But don't fold it up yet, because you want to move this a little bit so you can get the dino leg out. It just rolls out of there like that. Then you push this up like that. Now there's this joint right here. You just bend the knee a little bit, just enough so you can clear that little corner. And you still don't clear it great. There's like a is it a cutout? Yeah. So move that around, and then as you're moving it, you can move it back down, and then this goes like this. This is the top. I know I have it upside down, but so as you do that, then you might as well put this. There's a peg. Where's the peg at? There's a peg right here. That peg's on that right there. And there you go. And then this is like this, I believe. It just sits there. It's no real way. Then this right here, there's a reason you can peg this together, but it might not stay. Once you get everything pegged, it stays pretty well, but it's hard. It's hard to get everything pegged because these flaps right here fall all over. And now you push this together, and there's a peg on this flap that pegs on the side here. And you gotta adjust it just right, like that. And there you go. You got one side done, and you don't have to worry about this stuff till the end. Now over on this side, again, this stuff will come out. It doesn't peg great, but when everything's smushed together, it seems to stay pretty well. You can do this too, because it'll come out later while you're trying to get this out. So just pull this out, and then this moves. It's pretty, then you pull this out. This is, I know I like to say intuitive, but it is. This is really intuitive, especially if you have Dinobots before. They seem to all transform basically the same. This, don't worry about keeping it in. The only thing is when you move the second leg in, it gets hard because these things will fall down if they're not pegged. So that's the only time I try to keep these pegged. But just move this knee like you do. Move this back here, then you can get the tail out. And just leave it like that, because move this down so you can get this around here like that. Push this down here, and then you're trying to get this knee where you need it again. Watch all this stuff, it will pop around and do whatever it wants to do. And you can close this. Again, there's a tab that you want it tabbed onto. Now, here's the tricky part. You gotta have the legs exactly where you need them. So now you want to tab these in here. It's gonna take me a little bit. Probably not though, because I'm on camera. Always makes me a liar when I'm on camera. So get that together. Get this in there together like that. Now you start pegging all of this together. Peg the tail together. There's the pegs. As long as it's lined up, there's pegs. And see how this came out? Because up here, you got to get it. Peg all that. And now what I do is hold it, because there's two peg holes here, pegs right there, two peg holes here. Put this down, it goes over top, and you peg it in there, and then peg this back. This is what happens. It folds down on itself because you got to be careful, and it's not supposed to do that. So then you got to push it back, comes off, of course. I wish this was maybe die cast and screwed together instead of, but I know why it's not, because then you won't break it. If it's screwed together, you'd probably break it if you pushed it down right there. So you're trying to get this, like I said, you want it, it needs to be almost exact. And I think that's it. This is coming apart. Yeah, it could be me. It could be the way I've done it. It's just not. There's a couple pieces of red on the table too. That's not great. Again, could be using air. I'm not above that. Oh, I'm like, he's not standing up. That's because his leg isn't out. Now get the leg out. And now you can clean it up how you want it, how you want the legs to be, stand, all that good stuff. I like them like this, so they're kind of flat. Not kind of, they are flat. Then clean this up here, move this down, goes around here, and there you go. Cesium in his dino mode, and he's great. He's great. I haven't found a way to put these on. I wish at least you could have stuck this in there maybe. I mean, you might be able to. I don't know. I mean, you might be able to fake it. Not that I would display them like that, but it would have been nice, because this kind of looks like fire, and when it's all lit up, it might have been nice. This might have been cool to have back here. Again, I wouldn't display them like that, but what you gonna do? So articulation, his head goes about this much. It can go side to side like this. These go up and down. There's no rocker. It has the elbow, the same elbow that it always has. This back here, these can go back. Well, they start to break the sculpt, but they can go back like that and like this, and can go all the way up and like that. So you can actually get a deeper, and then you get the 360. They both go 360, but you could get a deeper stance if you want it. If you were trying something like this, you wanted to make him like a longer stance. And you have the, even though there's no rockers, you have the swivel, the elbow swivel. And you have kind of the butterfly. So you can use it to get a better stance or whatever. So you see that, he looks weird like that, but something you can do. Toe tilt, I don't know if I showed that because of transformation that goes in, but there is there. Tail, wags, and that's it. Just a little bit. You can't even really pose it. It goes right back, but it does have that articulation. Let me make sure. I don't want to break it, but I was making sure it didn't pull out or anything. But yeah, so that's it for this review. I think it looks good. He does look like a potato a little bit. I've heard people say that. That's probably why I said that just now. But I can see why people say that. Let me put it that way. Like back here, he has the cutoff. I'm not sure if Triceratops, that's what this is. I'm not sure if they had like the round butt. It's kind of like Snarl, like how he goes down. And I know they did, like that Stegosaurus, or I think that's what it's called, where it had the spines and goes out. But I don't know if the Triceratops did. I think it was more, less angled back. But that's just a nitpick. Anyway, I think it looks great. It looks good. And that's it. I'll get up with you in another one. If you enjoyed this review, again, leave me subscribe and hit that bell so you know when I post. Thank you.
You know, life ain't over, life ain't over, life ain't over. As long as you're alive, you can give another try and take it real high if you want.